UndergroundVideoNetwork.com presents the We Talk Too Much podcast.
This is where the fun begins.
Comic books, superheroes, sci-fi, gaming, and everything nerdy.
That's it. This is just too weird.
Now, here's your host of the We Talk Too Much podcast, Mike and Richard.
Oops. This is We Talk Too Much.
You got me, man. I legit my first thing when I saw that first opening was retro flashback that I remember. This is Richard's. I'm like, oh my god, is this the breakup episode? Is this Rich's subtle way of telling me that?
Let's tell everybody who we are.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to this episode of Richard's Underground Video Network. Evidently,
Flashback.
I'm Mike Boroff, and the founder of the feast, and evidently who's bumping me off here, my good buddy Richard. Rich, how's it going?
I hit the wrong button.
Oh, that was a Freudian slip, you ass. I know it wasn't like, yeah,
No,
this is the episode.
No, the whole settings got changed, and everything's not in the right place.
Welcome, everybody. We hope everybody had a really good Friday and happy Easter last weekend, which is why we weren't here. I was busy with the ham and the candies, and it was nice. It was nice taking a week off because it was kind of like we gave everybody a chance to get caught up on one of Richard's all-time favorite things, if you can't tell by looking over my left shoulder, your right shoulder. I'm talking about King Kong versus Godzilla, or Godzilla versus King Kong, whichever your preference is. I'm more than willing to step back for this one, Richard, because man, this was your wheelhouse. What did you think, Rich?
Yeah, I think he did it justice. I mean, it was a kaiju slugfest, and we got a kaiju slugfest.
Yeah.
And we had they always say there's too many human involvement, but I think it was almost equal. I mean, there was a little too much, but it was okay.
My only complaint, Richard, and I really adore the actress. What was her name? Millie Bobby Brown. That entire arc could have been left completely out and not had it. No, I really thought about it, Richard, because I watched it twice. It contributed nothing to the movie. Yeah, they discovered the idea of Mechagodzilla, but they didn't do it. It had no effect. Now the other team, that was great.
Yeah.
The exploration of the hollow earth,
Right?
And I loved the thing with the little girl who spoke sign language to King Kong.
Yeah,
that's what bummed me out, Richard. I had an idea, that her relationship to King Kong. I was kind of thinking from the previews early on that was going to be the same relationship that Millie Bobby Brown's character had with Godzilla, but once again, she didn't do dick in this movie.
Well, she never really did have that connection with even Godzilla in the last one, because Godzilla technically is a force of nature.
Yeah.
And you would never really have that connection, unless Mothra or even his own son, you know what I'm saying, back in the older stuff.
Yeah.
But in this new take, they were supposed to be a total force of nature. So that's how Godzilla is, Which, well, the big slugfests, we had two of them through the movie,
Oh man, that was.
But dude, I still don't know with them standing on the boats. That was crazy.
That was awesome. And it was weird, Richard, because like in the first, I didn't know who to root for, Richard. I really genuinely, it was like I've never really rooted for a tie before, but I'm like, I really wanted a tie because Kong Kong Skull Island, I love that one. And what was great about that one is like he wasn't a monster. He was like everything that happened in Kong Skull Island was because, Samuel L. Jackson came shooting up his hood, Dude was just protecting his house, and
Well, the whole Marvel legacy popped in there,
yeah. Oh
Yeah,
my
Captain
God.
Marvel and
Did
Loki.
it ever.
And most of Shield.
Did it? Yeah, man. Which is funny because what was it? No, he wasn't in anything. I was trying to think of the captain, John C. Riley, but no, he's one of the few people that like haven't slipped into the Marvel universe somehow. So yeah, they left him out. But even Godzilla was, like you said, a force of nature, but he was still like a good guy. But
Yeah.
it
Well,
was the,
yeah, because he only was attacking that the American plant because they were building Mechagodzilla, and he knew what they
yeah.
were doing. They were like what, cloning those other
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember the name now.
Skullwalkers.
Yeah. They were
Skullwalkers.
cloning them and then transporting them somehow on some rail system through to China.
Yeah. Which, by the way, I can completely suspend belief when it comes to a giant 600-foot lizard and a gigantic ape. But when they were on that train and he looked down, it's like, oh, we're going 600 miles per hour. They weren't liquefied.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's a magnetic rail system, man. It's like that one commercial. That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works.
Well, it had a magnetic field around that kept the gravitational field in place as it went through the other magnetic field of the Earth. And
all right, Geordie LaForge, with your warp bubble. But no, you're right. What we all went into that movie for, like you said, the slugfest, man. They didn't pull. I'm not going to say they didn't pull any punches. I wasn't disappointed in the fight. It wasn't like 6 hours of movie exposition and like a quick, no, man. That was a fight. That was a hell of a fight.
Yeah, when Godzilla came up and Kong and they was fighting and stuff, that was crazy on the boats.
Yeah.
I don't know why that was just. And then he got drug under, and then they had to do the depth charges and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the special effects were just
good.
Yeah,
they really were. Because one of the things I really appreciated, like in the boat scene fight, was when Godzilla pulled Kong down. You could see, I mean, the facial expressions were amazing because, like, you could see the moments where Kong was starting to actually drown.
Oh,
like, he was gasping. It was like, damn,
And my cousin Justin says it was amazing.
Yeah,
and we agree with you, Justin.
I agree. Like I said, I watched it. After I watched it the first time, when I realized because of Easter we weren't going to be able to do a show last week, and I'm like, well, I need a refresher. I'm gonna watch it again, strictly for show purpose. No, I really enjoyed it. I loved the idea of from Kong to Godzilla to this one. I really enjoyed the idea of them being like you said, forces of nature, and they weren't just like products of radiation and atomic testing.
Yeah. Well, the whole thing was that they were already like the last of their kinds,
Mm-hmm.
and so forth, because they had that big war, and then Kong got to see that, like, his home where he was maybe originally from, and that axe or what that he found and stuff like that, because they were all tied together in that Middle Earth stuff.
Mm-hmm. And I like that we got to see it closer up because I think I was like everybody. Like we were like everybody when we first saw the preview. When we saw that axe, we're like, "What the shit?" I mean, I know he's smart, but I really liked it. Correct me if I'm wrong, Richard, but I'm pretty sure it might not have been Godzilla's, but it was one of the creature like Godzilla's spiny things,
Oh yeah,
which is why, like when Godzilla shot it, it charged the weapon.
yeah.
I thought that was a really nice touch.
Yeah, I think it was some kind of like probably some way to because they were looking for that energy signature that was around Kong's fortress or whatever that he
Yeah,
activated, and that little robot got that way they could activate Mecha Godzilla and stuff.
yeah.
They were all tied together. It's like this force that has all the kaiju's on that version of the
Mhm.
universe tied together or something.
Yeah.
So my next thing is I want to see Space Godzilla in the next one.
Oh, dude, if there's money to be made, they'll do it.
Yeah.
You know, but then you got to be careful what you wish for because if they keep going to franchise, it'll end up like
My cousin said he's thinking the
yeah.
same.
As long as they don't pull a like Friday the 13th where it's it was Jason in space where it's like Godzilla in space, and he's
Oh,
just like, you know,
either that or even Hedra, the smog monster,
oh yeah.
because they could go in a couple different directions there. But I think the Space Godzilla scenario would be the best.
Yeah. Well, wasn't that kind of what the three-headed creature was in Godzilla?
That was Ghidra. The
Ghidra.
Space Godzilla is actually the G force or the G molecules that rearranged themselves after Biolente was destroyed, and it created Space Godzilla.
Okay.
Yeah, it was during that time frame.
But like you said, I really hope that the franchise isn't over yet. Yeah, I mean, it was a great build. We got, Kong, we got Godzilla, we got the two of them. I really do hope that they're not just, like finished with it. Like you said, so much more about this genre than I do. And from listening to you, it's like the potential's still there for many more stories
Oh
to come.
yeah, and then there's always Godzilla's son and stuff like that. But as Justin says, King Ghidorah is the arch enemy number one. So maybe they'll reclone him because I know they had the head, but maybe they still have some genetic material. You never know. Jurassic Park.
Yeah, if we've learned anything from movies like you said, Godzilla and King Kong and Godzilla, humans are stupid. Humans are stupid. Like, hey, I got a great idea. Those things that killed a dozen people or hundreds of thousands of people? Let's make another one. Why
or
not?
or just
No.
make a Mecha Ghidorah.
There you go. I got to tell you this real quick though, Richard. As a side note, you know what? After I watched Godzilla and King Kong, I don't know why, Richard, but you know what it inspired me to go back and find, and luckily it was like on Amazon. I rewatched
What?
Robot Jocks.
Oh, jeez.
Dude, don't. I'm telling you right here, right now, Richard. In my opinion, it holds up.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah. I mean, the story. I mean, the story was solid. And even the special effects, Richard. Like the stop motion stuff.
Yeah.
I'm here to tell you right now, Richard. I believe Robot Jocks holds up. But it was like I wanted, when I saw Mecha Godzilla, I was just like, with the guy controlling him, I was just like, and watching that Pacific Rim anime a few weeks back, I'm
Yeah, I
like,
was wondering how's that? Was that any good? I haven't got Netflix, so
Pacific Rim, I think was Into the Black. The animated was
right.
phenomenal. I really enjoyed it. It wasn't what I expected it to be. Pacific Rim, you think, just mechs and monsters,
Yeah.
No, the story was very well written. It was more of an aftermath kind of story. It wasn't just a bunch of, mechs and everything, it was very centralized around the two main characters, a brother and sister, in the aftermath of everything that I believe happened after the second movie.
Okay.
You know, but no, that was phenomenal. But no, Richard, it was just like nostalgia kicked in, and I'm like, I want to see some more giant robots. Wait a minute.
I might have to pick up Netflix, and Justin hasn't watched it either, so know.
I really did. I really did enjoy it a lot.
And they just invested a ton of money in anime on Netflix, and then Netflix has got the streaming rights to all of Sony's properties starting in 2022.
Oh yeah, that news. I was wondering when you were going to bring that up. I was trying to figure out a way to.
This was a good way to do it.
But yeah, Calmer, I got a chance to read over some of it, but man, you want to talk about a huge development. I mean, of all the services, I would not have banked money that they would have went with Netflix. I mean, Amazon, I would have, like Amazon, I would have been like, that makes sense, because they.
But Amazon's got a lot of contracts right now with Paramount.
Yes, you're right, because that's where you can see all the CBS all access stuff, and
sort of like on a secondary basis.
Yeah,
but I think that even contract's going to end soon. So, but Netflix was really trying hard to find some kind of property, because they were even talking about what was they going to do? They was going to do something else, Oh, and Justin's been watching some of that stuff on Netflix too. He said they're really good also. So
yeah.
So like they got all the anime stuff and then all that, because like now what's going to happen to like the fun animation stuff? Because they just combined Crunchyroll from Warner Brothers and with fun animation. So now Sony has all those rights. Netflix has all these other ones coming in. Can you see if they would actually create this huge? I mean, I remember back in the day when we couldn't even get anime on like VHS.
Yeah. Oh, we've talked about it a bunch, Richard. But back when I worked at Blockbuster Video, we didn't have we had it like I'm pimping out Blockbuster. It's close, but we had an adequate sized anime section. Nothing was ever in.
Oh yeah, I bet it was always out.
And I worked with a guy named Johnny who was an anime fan, and when we would get stuff in, he would be like, "We're going to lose this." And we're like, "What do you mean?" He go, "Now keep in mind."
Kimberly said, "We just both aged ourselves."
Bag him VHS. God. No, it's a side note. We'll talk about it later, Richard. I did watch that documentary, The Last Blockbuster.
Oh, did you?
I wept. I'm not even playing, Richard. I shed a tear. But what a lot of people don't realize is when video stores first started, movies weren't as widely available as they are now. Like when a movie comes out for sale, you can buy it anywhere.
Yeah.
Movies weren't like that.
I remember when you had to buy movies like that, they were like $50 from the subscription magazine source, and that was discounted because the only way you could buy them was at like $89 that went directly to the rental stores. You couldn't even buy VHS.
We had the hardest time explaining to people, not every movie that comes out for sale. The store has to buy it for like $100. There were movies that were at easily $100, and it shocked the shit out of people. We're like, "Well, what if I just keep it? $30 in late fee." Like, yeah, it's $30 in late fee plus $100 to compensate the movie. But what I'm saying is when we got anime, especially because anime was so rare, like they were not producing a lot of them on VHS
because all basically was Viz.
Yeah.
And then fun animation wasn't even really American thing yet, was it? Yet that was
Not
later,
really.
right? Because it was like Viz Video, and there was one other company that was out at that time. But this was the main one that really started it all in America, besides the bootleg places. And then there was some kind of local access channel in Kentucky that formed into something else, one of those other anime channels.
Yeah. But like Johnny said, when we would get new anime in, Johnny would be the first to call. He goes, "We're going to lose this." Like, what do you mean? He goes, "This is even back then, before Cult Classic was really a thing." He knew enough to know, like, he goes, "We're going to lose this because this is really popular." He goes, "We'll keep it for like a month, and then you watch, somebody's going to disappear with it." And he was right. I mean, we got lucky. Our customers were fairly decent, but keeping anime on the shelves was near impossible because there was just no place to get it.
Yeah. Yeah, because that was, it wasn't until a little later on then all stuff started breaking loose. But still, you didn't even have that. But let's move on. Now we got anime everywhere.
Exactly. But we talked about it before, Richard. You got to admit that was one of the more brilliant things that Netflix has done to survive, was especially during the pandemic, when original content was like nigh impossible to find. Netflix is one of the people that were smart enough, like, hey, we can still do animation.
Right.
We figured out how to do animation. You, guy in California, draw this. You in Nevada, edit the sound. You 5 people that live a million miles away from each other, voice it, ship it back to us, and we'll produce it. They really were one of the first ones to really get on the original anime or animation stuff, like Voltron.
Well, yeah, that was originally anime. Then they did the new series, and then they were even bringing some of the other stuff back.
Oh, it was great. But yeah, I really think that they were really smart playing the long game, Richard.
Yeah.
Where it was like the animation stuff was like keeping people coming. They pop out an original here and there, but while everybody else was struggling for content, they were pumping it out. And you got to imagine that they were, bankrolling everything. And that put them in a position, Richard, like you said, for the Sony deal.
Yeah, well, I still remember back when Akira came out, so it was in the theater. I actually went to Columbus and seen that.
Akira,
wow, this is neat. I just found a whole timeline of anime in America someone put together.
But like you said, Akira, Ghost in the Shell.
Right.
I mean, even some of the really... Yeah, dude, Heavy Metal.
Well, that was not anime. That was
not
American
anime, but
that was American animation.
Yeah, it was the animation, but
I know we were on a quest to see every band live that was on the soundtrack for the longest time, and we've actually almost done that. So,
but no, King Kong versus Godzilla, man, that was I know I've said it 3 different times so far, Richard. I'm gonna keep going because I've referred to it as King Kong versus Godzilla, Godzilla versus King. It's just monkey versus lizard movie. But no, it was really good. Like I said, my only complaint was the Millie Bobby Brown and the kid from Deadpool 2. Again, aside from him saying the word Mecha Godzilla, if you were to cut them out of the movie, it would change absolutely nothing to me. But yeah, the fights, there with the idea of Mechagodzilla gaining sentience. That was great. We saw that one come, like, oh, what? Not only were they recreating just giant kaiju, yeah, let's figure out a way to power its thoughts with kaiju. What could go wrong?
Right.
I mean, it wasn't like simply like Pacific Rim or Robot Jocks. No, that would have been too easy. let's plug a brain. Let's plug his brainstem into the kaiju. No, I'm not saying that as a bad thing. It was a good story device, but that was pretty dope when you saw the two of them. For two creatures that don't talk, they had that eye moment where it's just like me and you, him. Yeah, let's do it. You know.
And then the girl came up and explained to Kong that Godzilla was one of the good guys, or was needed help, So he just gets up, okay.
You know what? I really loved that. I loved her. Because just the idea, Richard, of humans communicating to gorillas through sign language. It's not like it was made up,
right. Yeah. I just thought that was so funny, that he just changed his own mind and decided to defend Godzilla,
Yeah. My only thing is granted, he had to have had really ridiculously good eyesight because she's like that big compared to him, and she's got tiny hands, and she's doing like he wasn't like, okay, would you him from okay. No, from like a mile away, he was just like,
okay.
Oh, okay. Friend, got it. Let's go. But dude, it was.
And I did love that homage of them carrying Kong on the net back to the old school stuff.
Yes. Yes. Oh, so good. I did. I really enjoyed that one, and that's going to be one, Richard, that I think when it does finally come out, like on Blu-ray or DVD or what have you, or maybe even VHS, huh? When it comes out, I want to purchase that one because I'm like you, Richard. I want to see the making of stuff, man. I really want to see the behind the scenes of this movie.
Yeah, it should be interesting. It's going to do. It did good. It was even doing okay in the box office there for a while. And
I was coming home from Columbus the other weekend when I blew that large wad of cash on Lego. Don't judge me. I drove through Wapak, and I passed by their little small theater there in town. Yeah. They were playing it. And I'm telling you, dude, if I wouldn't have had to have waited, at the time when I drove through, their next showing was in like 2 hours. If I wouldn't have had to waited like 2 hours, if it was like another hour or like a half an hour, I might have hung around to see that one at the theater. Oh,
but it's on the streaming platform. That's where I watched it, HBO Max. Yeah. And did you say they did a sly thing on me though? They figured out that if they showed Mortal Kombat when they were originally going to, you wouldn't have to re-up your subscription, but they moved it a week more. So you are going to have to up your subscription because I had it timed to the day because the very last thing I would watch was going to be Mortal Kombat. And because I signed up exactly to the day from that so I could watch Justice League and King Kong. And then I was hoping to watch Mortal Kombat. Now you have to keep it another month to watch Mortal Kombat.
Dude, the more of those previews I'm seeing, man, I like when they did the highlight previews where it's like this preview was Sub-Zero, this preview was Scorpion. Man, the Sub-Zero one, dude, when he cut that guy and the blood squirts and he freezes the blood midair and then stabs him again with his own blood, I was just like, damn. This is going to be the Mortal Kombat movie we have always wanted.
So that comes out on the 23rd now.
Yeah.
23rd on the Friday.
Yeah.
I'll probably keep my Mac for one more month. I was going to drop it because I was going to switch back to Netflix, but I don't think I'm going to.
I just read recently, Richard. I think because I shared it on Facebook, the last week. They finished the filming. They had the last day of filming for Witcher Season 2.
Oh yeah.
And I watched. I liked that their announcement for it was. I really liked the way they did the announcement for the finishing of season 2 because they showed a lot of behind the scenes about how they were able to safely finish the production of it. You know, as kind of like a way of reassuring everybody, hey, we were careful. We wanted to get this made, but we weren't risking anybody, doing it.
Right.
Aside from Henry Cavill hurting his ankle the same week a new PC game came out. I
Well,
love that guy.
yeah, because I was wanting also for the Netflix. Why I wanted to kind of get that next is because I wanted to watch the show that just had the trailer drop this week.
Oh, which one? Where?
Jupiter's Legacy.
Oh, yes. Yep. Sorry,
So,
Rich.
there's so
was
much
just so
coming
many
out
previews.
these days. It's so
Yeah.
hard to keep track of, either the HBO Max or Netflix or Paramount Plus just released all their Star Trek stuff. What
Yep.
they're going to be doing. So, but yeah, that the Jupiter Legacy did look pretty cool. The trailer,
It did.
I didn't read this. I didn't read the comic books either, so I'll probably just watch it just because I didn't see that. Hopefully it keeps up like what Invincible is doing on Amazon.
Oh, God. Speaking of which, that is excellent. And what's really nice about it too, Richard, is just today I was at the comic book store, and the great thing about these shows, Richard, is they are really revitalizing comic books because Alex was telling me, like, when Lock and Key came out, when Umbrella Academy came out, when Invincible here just recently came out, they said they've gotten more phone calls of people trying to get back issues or graphic novels or trades of those books than they have in years.
Huh.
So it really is. Those shows really are having a positive effect on the comic book industry.
Yep. They better take advantage of it now until Marvel does their little switcheroo.
One of these days, Richard, I know you sat and read everything about it. I tried reading it. I'm just like, my head started spinning. I'm like, I need Richard to explain this to me.
Yeah, well, that's a whole nother episode. We're gonna wait.
Yeah.
We're gonna write this out, but sales wise, I think it's really going to hurt the whole market for them pulling out of Diamond. But I've always seen Diamond was going to fall apart. So hopefully everybody is going to, but it's one of them things.
But speaking of other Marvel and DC properties, man, I love this, Richard. We were so worried after WandaVision, like, what are we going to talk about? Here comes everything. Falcon and Winter Soldier. God, man.
Let's go back 1 week. We haven't really talked about the third episode.
Oh, I got 2 words for you about last week's episode. Zemo dance.
Did you sit and watch that whole hour?
Maybe.
You did.
I didn't watch it. I mean, I might have scrubbed through it a little bit.
You started, yeah.
I might have hit the fast forward a few, but it was no. You know why, Richard? It made me feel better about my dancing skills. I'm like, people are going nuts over this guy, and he's literally just like that was and I can say this because I'm white. That was the whitest dance I've ever seen. It was literally like there was no hip action at all. It was all right here. But goddamn it, I loved it. And I'm waiting, Richard. There's somebody out there right now working on it, where they're going to do a collaboration between Zemo's dance and Jazz Hands Peter Parker. Oh, I want that dance off, man. I want that dance off. But no, we're
yeah, I'm staying away from all the speculations because everybody's starting to do the WandaVision crap all over.
I know.
Everybody's saying this is going to be this is going to be no. Let's just watch the show and we take it for what it is. We got Zemo. They broke Zemo, or they didn't break. He kind of perpetrated stuff to let him escape.
Yeah. Like, what do you mean we didn't help him break out? He did it all on his own, you know. But see, that's one of the things that makes Falcon and Winter Soldier so good is, like, Richard, none of the characters are really two-dimensional. Every character on the show has a layer of complexity about them.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you know, you got Sam, who is, you know, wants to do everything right, but now he's starting to come to terms with maybe he did make a mistake. Bucky struggling with his past life. Even John Walker. You know what? I love the character John. I mean, I hate the character John Walker, but I love the character John Walker because he is a complex character, Richard. They didn't write him as a flat out asshole douchebag that you hated, right? They gave him so many moments that made you really feel like he was a good guy and was doing everything, you know, for the right reason.
Right.
But then at the same time, he still has moments where you're like, yeah, it's kind of an asshole.
Well, that's even true with the you know, Flag Smasher, the Carly character. You know,
Exactly.
Is she a good guy or is she a bad guy? Because in some aspects, because way you look at the whole thing, why she's doing what she did was because when everybody blipped or half the population blipped out, all these immigrants and stuff or other ones took over a lot of the other parts, and then when everybody blipped back 5 years, everybody else got kicked out again. So we're back to where we was, where there's nations being destroyed from within because there's no, you know, taking these people and stuff. And I never even thought of it that way until this last episode of 4. It really explained it a lot better what might have really happened, and I could see that. You know, there would be all these jobs available where people had to fill because half the population was gone, you know, and just to survive.
Absolutely. It was brilliant. Because like she said, when you lose half the population, these two countries that were at war, well, now that both of them have lost half of their population, they learned that they had to actually work together to survive.
Right.
And like she said, the borders were disappearing. It was actually becoming a huge global melting pot. But when everybody came back, not only did the divisions come back, but they're even worse now. Because now the countries are divided again, but now there's more division within the countries of people who were blipped and weren't blipped.
Right.
Yeah.
And then of course in that episode before we got to see the magical city.
Oh, magic! Yeah.
And so now does X-Men exist now in the MCU?
Dude, Richard, I watched those scenes so hard. Like I was watching it like this because I swear to God, if I saw one dude with spiky hair and an eye patch, I was gonna lose my junk, man. I'm like, because it would have been really easy. I'm still not convinced he's not in there somewhere. I'm not convinced that Patch wasn't in there somewhere. Off in the distance, so it could have been like any actor. But man, we got to find out what happened to Sharon Carter.
Right. And Emily Van Camp came back. That was cool.
Oh, I adored her.
She took a break. She took a break from her doctor show.
Yeah.
Oh.
I love how Sharon's give a damn was completely shut off. She's like, look, if I'm going to be treated like this, I might as well go, you know.
Yeah. But yet, is she hiding something?
The only beef I had, Richard, and I don't know if you'll agree with me on this, the only beef I had was when Sam was impersonating that one crime boss.
Oh.
Look, no, hear me out. Look, Sam has been on the run before. He was on the run with Captain America. He's done espionage. He's done spy work. He is a world-class soldier. You're telling me he forgot to turn the ringer on his phone off?
Yeah,
Bullshit.
yeah.
Bullshit. He didn't know. No. I'm calling shenanigans on that one. You're telling me in that entire, because remember how they had to drive the car up to the bridge to get, or they had to walk on the bridge before they could get the ride. You're telling me
Right.
it didn't dawn on him one time. Whoop, whoop, phone's up. But they did what they had to do.
Yeah.
Dude, and their explanation of the recreation of this the super soldier serum, dude, that was all. I loved that.
Yeah.
That was great. That it was just like this one dude who nailed it, blinked, everybody forgot about him, came back, and he was just like, "Oh, well, I guess I can do this under the radar now." I was
Yeah.
like yes,
It actually made sense, it really did. Yeah. And of course then Zemo stepped in and took over.
Oh, but man, when they showed him in that jacket when he put that mask on, dude. And Richard, I loved when they first break him out, when they're walking up to his private jet, and Sam's like, "What? All of a sudden you're a millionaire?" And he's like, "Dude, I'm a baron." You're like, I was like, "Yeah."
And then I was reading one of those clickbait sites. They were complaining that he was looking too much like Thanos. I go, he looks like Baron Zemo from the comic. Did you not ever read the comic? If you're a comic book clickbait site and you never read a story from the comics, I mean, get real, people. It's the same site that I called out about using bad links on Facebook. So
Oh, I know which one you're talking about. We won't mention their name. But dude, Zemo's killing it for me, man. He's one of those complex characters where we see him as a quote unquote bad guy, but what he was doing, I'm not saying he was just, even from, Civil War justified, but I mean, he saw the inherent danger of having super soldiers. Like that was his, like,
yeah.
no, this is bad. You people don't understand how bad it is. I'ma handle it,
Yeah. Well, it's just like Lex Luthor and Aliens,
Oh my God, what?
But we'll get there. We'll get there. That's not a good segue yet. We should have done that later.
But no, that's the thing. It's like this. What made WandaVision really good was its outlandishness. It's kind of over the topness. What makes Falcon and Winter Soldier just as good is its complexities.
Right.
And it's not everybody's a black and white situation. It's like you said with the Flag Smasher girls. Like, dude, I really see her point of view.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it can't be too easy. She does have to do bad stuff to make us acknowledge that she's a bad guy. But at the same time, you're like, times of war,
Right.
It still blows me away that on that show, that is Bucky, that's the comic relief.
No.
Dude, his little zingers here and there are fucking top notch, man.
I loved it when the Wakanda warriors, when they were fighting, and one touch and his arm drops off.
Oh no, when she did that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this week's episode was. Oh no. We need to talk about this, Richard. I know shows like Falcon and Winter Soldier and WandaVision are usually overlooked by award shows. That scene, that flashback, when AOE was and Bucky were sitting around the fire, and she was showing him that it was the first moment that he was like unprogrammed. She's saying the words, like homecoming, freight car, dude. His performance, man. I'm telling you, I had it like right here watching that performance, man. He was killing me in there. When she says you are free, those tears in his eyes, man, those were real. That was amazing acting right there. That was amazing.
Yeah, it's just a lot of the stuff is like going to be underlooked, I think, because it's on Disney Plus, and it's a Marvel, But one good thing is they're saying that these are part of the Marvel universe now, or the MCU. So hopefully it gets a little more respect than like Shield did,
Yes. Yeah.
Especially after the, I know this is going off topic, but that Loki trailer was amazing. I know we haven't finished Falcon yet, but you were just,
Oh man, I know. No, the moment with Sam and the Flag Smasher girl. God damn it, that was so good.
I mean, it's just like we were saying, they're showing, this whole series is showing what happened from the blip.
Yeah.
I think this is more in line so that they don't have to do it in any of the other movies. I think this is designed to give you that backstory. You kind of watch this, you kind of understand what happened, but you wouldn't necessarily have to watch that to watch Captain Marvel 2.
Right,
but it'll allow Captain Marvel 2 to progress on without having any of that actual backstory from the blip.
And on top of that, the way they're handling it on a more personal level, we're seeing how this affects not the superheroes of the MCU,
right.
The people of the MCU.
Right.
The immigrants, the downtrodden, the street level people.
Yeah. So I just think that's one good thing about this series, and then we get to see some of the other, because I'm pretty sure this is going to continue on. I think they're going to have to keep this series going. At least I hope they will. I know we only got 2 episodes left, but
I'm one of those people, Richard, where not that my opinion matters, but if somebody asked me my opinion, would you rather see a Falcon and Winter Soldier big budget MCU movie or another not small, limited
series? Yeah.
I'll take the series. I'm at the point, Richard, now where I'll take a series over a big budget movie any day now. I really would.
Right. But we've been dodging the big bullet though. We got to go on.
Oh man, we knew it was coming. This is what made. I feel so bad for the actor that plays John Walker because he's getting treated like a lot of the people from Star Wars did. It makes me disgusted to be a fan. But you have to acknowledge, you might hate John Walker, but his portrayal is amazing.
Oh, yeah.
I genuinely really like the character John Walker because it's not just your simple bad guy story. John went into it the best of intent, but it kind of goes back to what Erskine says to Steve Rogers in Captain America: The First Avenger when they're sitting in the bed, or not in the bed together, but the night before. It's like, be a good man, not a great soldier, or something along those lines. I get, but you know the quote I'm talking about.
Yeah.
What made Steve Rogers a great Captain America was he was a good man. The problem is John Walker is a great soldier.
Right, yeah.
He's not a bad guy. We saw interaction with his his partner, we saw interaction with what we're assuming was his wife from the first episode. He seemed like a really decent dude. Wasn't perfect, and we're starting to see a lot of those cracks. The pressure of being Captain America is really starting to shine through.
Right, and then of course of course going into this, I already told spoilers, but Battlestar,
Yeah,
that was the point.
That was the point. And I liked when they had the dialogue with him in Battlestar earlier where John asks him, would you take the serum? And he's like, yep. He made a valid point. And here's the thing I talked about this earlier, Richard. The thing I really appreciated about Battlestar's death, not that I appreciated his death, was, Richard, how many action movies have you and I watched where two guys are fighting and the guy gets thrown into the wall and the wall actually cracks, but the dude gets up like, oh, bullshit.
Yeah.
No, we always said the same thing. That dude's spine was shattered. They took that stereotype, man, and broke it, dude. The other good thing about it too, Richard, is she didn't do it on purpose. You know what I mean? When she went to swing, she didn't know who she was going to hit and where she was going to hit. His death was accidental.
Right.
But she did still kill him, and
yeah. And now what's going to happen? Well, I don't want to speculate too much, but it was all caught on social media when John Walker, Captain America, went after that the other one and stuff like that, and was able to catch one of them.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not only. What's interesting is yes, the guy was a terrorist. Yes, John was. I'm not saying he was justified in killing him, but he was justified in apprehending him. And had he, how do I put this? Died in a fair. It was kind of like a fair fight, but the way John did it.
Yeah, it was a symbolism. It's symbolism of America.
Here's how he did it. Not once or twice. Nope, still breathing. Yeah, I did.
This is a reenactment by America's Most Wanted now.
Oh, but no. As a soldier chasing down a terrorist, in some views, we talked about this at the comic book stores, him killing the Flag Smasher could have been seen as justified because he was a terrorist. The way he went about it, snapping like that in front of the entire world, oh no. Oh, his shit is, yeah.
Yeah. And it was all caught. It was all caught on Facebook Live,
Yeah, and I'm telling you, that was one of the most iconic, and I don't mean iconic in a good way, but most iconic visuals was when they panned back and you saw John Walker. Yep, reenactment time. Saw him holding that shield.
Oh, with the blood.
God, dude. I'm not kidding, Richard. I went back and hit the rewind button. I paused it. That was.
Well, it's a symbolism of a lot of stuff that's going on in America, and that's what I think they're really trying to write off. I know because everybody's snapping. Even I've had my couple moments when I've been dealing with stupid people. I've snapped and I've gone off. So And
it fuels to Sam's fire because. The reveal was really good earlier too, Richard, when he's fighting. John Walker's fighting the Flag Smasher with Sam right there, and Walker bends that bar around his arm. Dude, that was awesome when that Flag Smasher literally said, "Oh shit," and then Sam was like, "What did you do?" Then very shortly after that, we see Sam witnessing Walker losing his shit in front of the entire world. That just solidified to Sam, oh, he's going to go bad. You know.
Glenzo 122 says, hey,
Glenn. But oh man, and you knew something was coming, Richard. There's another reason why the actor I really admire his acting, because I went back and I watched it again. I rewound it. There was a scene where Walker was walking down that hallway, and he did that it was kind of like cliche, but he did that kind of.
Oh.
He did the like the classic "I'm going nuts" neck twitch. It was like, oh yeah.
Okay. Glenn says, if you guys want your mind blown, you should listen to the 4-chord song "It's Crazy."
Is he talking about from WandaVision, where it was just
I don't know.
The same 4 chords?
I'm not sure.
But but no, everything's progressing like we knew it was going to. It was nice. It was nice seeing that we're not done with Sharon Carter yet. When Sam called her back up,
right? Well, I think I wanted to hope that there is something more there, because she's going to be in the next 2 episodes. So
yeah, and well, we had this discussion at the comic book store earlier, Richard. I'm going to have to go back and watch it. Do you remember, was it ever specifically stated that Bucky was administered the super soldier serum? That part confused me.
Yeah, he has the Russian version of it.
See, that's what I thought, but they never really referred to it as the, I know he went through the Winter Soldier process, but
right.
I don't remember, them ever saying that they injected him,
Yeah, I just rewatched Winter Soldier. It's in there.
Okay.
Oh, it's all your favorite songs use the same 4 chords.
We got a bot, Richard.
No, it's Glenn, supposedly.
But no, like the other thing, those two was the fight scene. That was the other snapping point for John. Was when the Wakandan guards showed up and literally handed him his ass.
Oh.
That was one of the coolest things I've ever seen in a movie, Richard, was when the one threw the spear, and she knew she couldn't get through the shield, but it went through the handle.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, that was awesome. That was awesome when it went through the handle and he couldn't get the shield out. Like, she knew she couldn't take the shield out, but I'm going to make it so you can't use it. But when John realized, after the fight, that he got his ass handed to him, and he says the words, they weren't even super soldiers. That was the moment you knew that he was ready to hit that, that dose. But I was impressed with Zemo. The thing that impressed me with Zemo is he was a man of his conviction, because when she spilled all those vials of the super soldier serum, I think anybody, and I mean any of us in that same situation, might have been, like, I'll just take one of these. No, he was so determined with his conviction, he smashed what he thought was all of them.
Yeah.
So that just shows that, again, in his head, he really believed that he was doing the right thing.
Yeah, for the most part. That's what the whole show is about, I think. Everybody believes they're doing what they think is right.
Yeah.
And that's what that world has become, I think. Because I think the MCU is really screwed up. And I think this Falcon Winter Soldier series is really showing that, a lot more than what WandaVision did,
Yeah. Because WandaVision was strictly autonomous. It was within its own
Yeah.
Sorry, don't.
Yeah.
You know,
Its own
but
TV series.
yeah, but even with like the upcoming Doctor Strange movie, we got a feeling that it's going to be more grandiose. You know, they're not going to worry about, you know,
Yeah.
this guy not getting a loan because he hasn't existed for the last 5 years. You know,
Right. Yeah.
it's going to
yeah.
be a grand Marvel movie.
So what did happen to everybody's money when they were gone?
Well, I
If you
don't
didn't
know.
have family, did the government just take it?
Uh, well, I don't know, Richard, because think about it. I don't know how they viewed it because technically, since they weren't dead, there would be no. Did they issue death certificates to all these people? Because okay, here's an example, Richard. Say if I was one of those people, does that mean the money that was sitting in my bank account has been sitting there and drawing interest for the last 5 years, or like you said? Did the government come in and say this person doesn't exist anymore? We're taking his money.
Yeah, because it's linked to a social security number, so they just take it.
Yeah,
That's what happens when you die with nobody associated to your social security number. You know, that becomes part of the government pot. Then anything you own, all was reverted. You know,
yeah,
so who knows? The world is all messed up. You know.
yeah. And you made the great point, Richard, where Falcon and Winter Soldier is focusing more on the people of the MCU post blip than the Marvel movies. You
Okay.
know.
Oh, Glenn says he thinks he's muted, so he said bye, amazing stream.
Okay.
I just wanted to show that, you know.
But no, I absolutely. We've seen the turning point. I really believe this was the point of no return for John Walker.
Right.
I mean, the government might try to spin it, you know, like, oh yeah, he did, but
I don't think
you
they
know,
can. I think
yeah,
they'll just write him off.
yeah.
Shield will step in.
I just want to see Phil Coulson walk into the room because remember, he's still got the mechanical arm.
Now
Got-
there's all rumors next next episodes. Someone big is supposed to be on it. You know, it's Doctor Strange again. No, I mean,
I want Coulson. I want John Walker to come down with that shield, and Coulson grabs it with his robotic hand, and Phil Coulson looks him dead in the eye and says, "You don't deserve this." God damn it, I need that.
Well, that had to be in the last episode because he's in the last episode too.
But it not just Marvel that we need to get caught up on. We've got a couple weeks of some great CW shows. Rich, I got to get this off my chest. I've got to get this off my chest. I got to get it off my chest now. That first episode of Supergirl, that was garbage. I'm saying it. I thought it was garbage. Look, there were many things I found wrong with that episode. First of all, when they showed Brainy, that was the worst makeup job I've ever seen in a TV show. That was Halloween. That was Spirit Halloween. No, that was dollar store face paint. When they showed him with no, that looked so bad. And then when they quickly showed the computer lady or whatever, dude, the robot woman from Superman 3 made her look like Ultron. That was horrible. That was Lawnmower Man level special effects. That was garbage. I'm sorry, I had to say it. That bugged me. But the second episode, you know what it felt like, Richard? It felt like they didn't have that episode. And they had to oh shit, we need to piece together an episode really quick before break ends.
Well, I think that was probably leftover material before the shutdown.
literally leftover material. That was
I'm serious. That's probably what it was.
yeah. It
That
was
looked like a season finale, the leftover from a season finale, with her getting stuck in the Phantom Zone. That's a season finale. What they ended with last season wasn't a season finale.
No.
Yeah.
And then, don't get me wrong. You know how I feel about John Cryer as Lex Luthor. Well, we learned that Lex Luthor is a huge Queen fan. So we got don't stop me. Like, come on, no, man, no, not every supervillain needs that dance number, man. Oh my God, that was rough to watch, Richard. It was cool enough when they were playing the music when I thought it was just like soundtrack music. But no, when you realize that he was like playing it through his iPod or whatever, and I was like, oh God, you're killing me, man. Like, oh.
We'll just see where it goes. I mean, Luther's off his case now, so
No, this last episode, more than made up.
Yeah, they were right on. Yeah.
No, that was. Let me reiterate. The first episode back from break was garbage.
Right.
This last episode was great.
Yeah.
It was such a throwaway thing, Richard, but I love the idea that our concept of vampires came from aliens. I back that. And I like that it wasn't like he wasn't like the typical bad guy. He's like, no, I'm a good guy, but I need the blood to survive. They needed him. Everything with the trial, dude, that was awesome. And I might be way off base, Richard, because I know this is the last season. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I just thought of this, Richard. It's the last season, but Cryer's already stated that his Lex Luthor will continue in the CW, that he might pop up in Supergirl or Superman and Lois.
Right.
I'm calling it right now, Richard. It's because of. Okay, let's keep in mind, we won't go into politics, but we already have established before Supergirl's, the show Supergirl's ideology.
Right.
So it's safe to say that the writers and the people of that universe probably weren't overly fond of a certain ex-president. Let's just
just go.
But it was a few key things that Lex said that made me feel like I got a feeling I know where his intentions are going. When Lex realized that he didn't have to not manipulate people, that's what he does.
He doesn't have to hide he just has to be Lex Luthor. So his popularity is as being Lex Luthor. So yeah, they're going to go with that storyline.
Yep, because it was the one phrase that he said, Richard. He goes, they really like somebody who says it like it is, or says what he thinks.
Yeah.
It sounded very familiar, and I thought, they're going to go there. They are going to go there,
and that's how they're going to spread it into the other series. Yeah,
we are going. I'm calling it right now, Richard. We're going to see President Lex within the next couple seasons of small.
Well, it probably will end on Supergirl and then just goes on.
Right.
That's probably how we're going to leave Supergirl. Besides her traveling to the future. Oh,
I'd be happy with that.
Yeah, probably she'll get some kind of lead poisoning. I mean,
yeah. Well, here's the only thing. This goes again, Richard. We've talked about it a dozen times where when it comes crossover time, they handle crossovers very well. But when they're their own individual shows, they handle the idea of them sharing the same universe very poorly. You're telling me that Miss Tessmacher and Lena were the only two people they could get to testify against Lex Luthor?
Yeah.
Bullshit. You're telling me Clark, that Superman, wouldn't have showed up at that trial. You're telling me the Flash wouldn't have shown up at that trial.
Yeah.
No. The idea that they relied on just those two characters of that show
Right.
for the trial was preposterous.
I just think they're trying to write through this and trying to get it like done for the season. I think they have these ideas and they just want to run with it, and they just got to get to a certain point, and they wanted to put Supergirl in the Phantom Zone so that she has this like experience with no powers and stuff like that,
Yeah.
And then she'll come back and then they'll get ready to wrap up the season. I mean, we only got it's even a short season, isn't it? It's not even a full season, right? So because it ends like in May, or no? Does it go back in hiatus, then comes back in summer with Stargirl to finish, right?
I'm not 100% sure. Their timeline of airing shows is so wackadoo after
right now because of the way everything happened.
Yeah.
And I know, like Superman had to shut down, so that the Supergirl was already filming, so they just showed in that spot, and they're supposed to be back in May. Flash is doing actually not too bad right now. Even this last with Flash with the Speed Force, that's pretty crazy.
Can I just say real quick though, Richard? Having the actress that plays Barry's mom as the Speed Force,
right?
Barry's mom is hot. I'm just gonna say it. Barry's mom is. Everybody always makes a big deal about like the 20-something and the 30-somethings. Give it up for somebody. She is smoking. That's all I got to say. But I like that they're dealing with the other forces, because I read the Flash comic books. The idea of this, I'm glad it was Cisco that did it, the Sage Force, the Still Force.
Oh, yeah.
No. People who are watching the show, those are established.
Right.
I really like that they're touching on those. I thought that was I really like the direction they're going with those.
In the preview for next week, where like she enhances his powers beyond his control there a couple times, next week's is going to be pretty crazy.
Yeah. And this last episode, I adored this last episode. This last episode was the episode, Richard, that we needed. We needed the self-contained, fun episode. Which was ironic, considering that to have fun in the episode, we had to put Barry in a coma.
Oh.
Like, dude, we love you, Barry, but you're kind of a downer. Go take a nap, bro. We got this, But I'll be the first to admit, Richard, when they first introduced Chester, I wasn't the biggest fan of his. I thought he was going to be like a cheap Cisco substitute, but the chemistry between Chester and Cisco, I genuinely adore the two of them. Those
Traveling
two
in the 90s.
Yes. Oh, dude, and the freaking fact that they showed a Blockbuster.
Yeah.
They didn't. No. Dude, you know what? They could have just name dropped, like, made up a video store.
Right.
Nothing would have been more iconic. Nothing would have said 90s more, but they showed a Blockbuster video. The only thing that ticked me off was that the video store looked like it. I know space is limited, so they had to go with whatever set is on the studio lot. But that the Blockbuster video was actually looked like a movie theater.
No.
Didn't make me mad. It made me jealous, because I'm like, God damn it. I never knew how bad I wanted to work at a Blockbuster video that was in an old movie theater. I felt robbed. No, I really did. I thought it was a fun episode, and it was an episode that we needed.
Yeah.
We needed a nice, moment,
At least we got the trailer for the new DC's Legends of Tomorrow, and we know when it's coming out.
Dude. Oh, man. Oh man, I saw that. God, man, oh, because it made me wonder, Richard. That show has always been on the outside of everything else, man. They will break the fourth wall. They don't give a damn. They will go as outlandish as they need to be and make it work. And after, okay, we did the time thing. Now we've got these magical abnormalities. It's like, where are they going to go next? And it was just like, oh,
aliens. And it's not regular time aliens, time traveling aliens.
Yep. And you know what? Any other show, any other movie, I would have called lazy writing. Legends of Tomorrow, perfect sense. Time traveling, literally, Richard. Like this season on The Flash, time traveling aliens. That's going to be stupid. This season on Supergirl, time travel. That's dumb. This season on Legends of Tomorrow. Tell me more.
They already did the time traveling aliens on Supergirl.
Yeah.
The Legion.
Oh man. I love that show so much. And then Batwoman.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, so good, man. That
funeral sequence was touching at the beginning.
It really was.
And then how they had the Batwoman back at the cave writing, then dialogue going on and stuff. I think that was filmed really, really good.
The way it bounced between her and Alice saying the same but opposite things and leading in, that was well written. That was very well written. And I really like that we finally gotten to the point with the three main characters' relationship where we're a team now. Yeah. We are a team now, And I like that Ryan was like, here's the rules for our, not like being a jerk, but like, here's the rules for our team.
Yeah.
We hold each other accountable. We honestly,
everybody's back and stuff. Yeah.
Yes. I really do. I like their chemistry. I like their dynamic. And I really like what I'm seeing with what they're doing with the return of Kate Kane.
Right.
Because
I just think that's going to be how this is going to go to, because their season break's coming up. I think they're going to have a season break, then they'll go away, and then they're going to come back too over summer, right? With Batwoman.
Yeah. Because I like what I'm seeing, Richard. I like that it feels to me like they're building up that not only will her face change, but I'm kind of getting some brainwashing vibes coming from the people that have her.
Yeah.
So when it was announced that Kate Kane was coming back to the show, it might not necessarily be our Kate Kane. Or, you know what I mean, Richard?
It's going to be her, but it's going to be
a brainwashed variation, Like we know she's Kate Kane, but everybody else might not know she's Kate Kane because she's
might not look like Kate Kane
and been brainwashed into it,
Yeah. Yeah, they're going to do like the Ralph thing. She's going to have a different face because her face got messed up.
And they're going to change the voice to something electronic. Yeah. Say what you want to, man. They made the best of a bad situation. That's all I'll say about that is they handled that beautifully. But no, man, God, Batwoman, God damn that! I really enjoy it. I really like Ryan as Batwoman. The introduction of what's her name has a sister who's, they're the thing about this season of Batwoman is they are by no means making any apologies for going after topical issues. None whatsoever, Yeah. Damn, dude, I can't think. Like I said, this last week, Richard, I just kind of went down the older movie, not older movie hole, but I did watch something here real recently, Richard. It's a new release on Hulu. It's a Hulu original. It's called Boss Level.
Oh, okay.
If you get a chance to look the preview up, for a Hulu original, it was really good. The idea is think of Groundhog's Day, you know, the Daily Loop,
Right.
but a no holds barred shoot 'em up action movie. And the way they shot it was really good, Richard, because no spoilers, but the movie doesn't start with, you know, what happening at the beginning. The movie starts off, the guy's already, I'm not spoiling anything because they showed in the preview, he's already days into what's happened. So they show him like he's laying in bed and the alarm goes off. And he's like, tilt to the left, and he tilts to the left, and then a knife shows up, and he's like, sit up, and then he sits up, and like there's a gunshot here, and this guy's trying to kill him, and he's like, as the guy's trying to kill, he's casually walking through his kitchen, avoiding this, duck here, grabs a cup of coffee, pours the creamer, dodges a gunshot, drinks the coffee, smashes the bad guy in the face, jumps out the window. It was really cleverly done. I enjoyed that one. So if you get a chance to, I recommend on Hulu Boss Level. It was very entertaining. I like that one a lot.
How about the mini puffs?
Oh, okay. Okay, wait a minute. You gotta. Okay, give me a second, Richard.
We haven't talked about it. We just lost Mike for a few seconds, audio people, and even video people. Like having a coronary fit.
Oh, you don't know. Okay, let me ask you this though first, Richard. I can't. I haven't gotten a specific answer from you if it's actually a part of the movie or if it's a trailer. You know what I mean? Because we've talked about this before, Richard, where we've seen a lot of movie trailers that show stuff that happened in the trailer that like
Right.
not even remotely in the movie. I don't care. I have this like 2-minute clip that I will treasure forever. Yeah, that was. And you know what? I had this conversation with a friend of mine at work, Richard. They're like, "Oh, well, they're just trying to capitalize on the popularity of Baby Yoda." And I went, "Yeah, they are." And you know what? I don't care. I will own all of the mini Stay Puft Marshmallows. That was, and you know what? At first, when I first saw the clip, Richard, it was on Facebook and I was on my phone. I didn't make the. I didn't see the ghost that it was from a Ghostbuster site. I just saw Paul Rudd.
Oh, okay.
You know me, I love me some Paul Rudd. I thought it was a commercial at first, because he's like, "Ooh, Jamocha," and then he's going through the thing, and then they played the music, the wow, wow, and I went, "Wait a minute, is it?" And I scrolled up and I saw it was Ghostbusters, and I went, "No, no." Then I saw the Stay Puft Marshmallow bag, and I went, "Oh my god." Oh my god! And then oh my god, Richard.
Well, the part where the two are roasting the one between the crackers is hilarious. I mean, what are they, cannibals?
Dude, they're evil because believe me, Richard, I watched it like 9 times. When the one has the two on the stick holding them over the fire, the one is pulling itself closer to it and giggling like, "This is great, I love this." Like,
even the one the s'mores is giggling.
Yes, they're literally. It's like they're walking around going, "Eat me, eat me, eat me." The ones on the Roomba or whatever on the. Oh my god! But the best one was like the very first one where he's just like, "Oh, look at you, aren't you cute?" And it bites him.
Yeah.
And I know for people watching it who may not follow me on Facebook, oh yeah, it didn't slip my attention that the ice cream that he was looking at in the freezer, Baskin Robbins, because Baskin Robbins always finds out. I saw that and I'm like, I ain't gonna lie, Richard. It wasn't until like the second time I watched it that I saw, because I watched it on my phone. I just saw that he was eating ice cream. I didn't see it big enough to see the logo. But after I got home from work and I watched the clip on my TV, I sat there and went, "You sons of bitches! You knew what you were doing." Oh God, man, that God. And I do know this for a fact, Richard. I don't know if it's going to be in the States, but they're not stupid, man. The merchandising campaign behind the little mini Marshmallow Man has already hit. I've seen. Oh yeah, the one site I follow, Richard, is a Canadian-based Ghostbusters site.
Oh, okay.
I've seen a lot of Ghostbuster products from other countries that have never made it here. Like I think they're going to re-release the Ghostbusters or release a Ghostbuster cereal, but what they're going to release, Richard, and I've seen the packaging for it already, is how they have those little blind boxes of like different Marvel characters and you never know which one you're going to get.
Right.
They're little marshmallow containers that will have different little marshmallow men, and they even said actual size.
Oh, wow.
So, oh no, the merchandise will be strong with this one.
Yeah, I think that's got pushed back when they say now it's in the fall, right?
Dude, and yeah.
It just says fall. Yeah.
And they were smart about it, Richard, because they know that the movie people love Ghostbusters, and the people who really love Ghostbusters will wait. We've already waited an eternity for this. But it's almost like they know, man, we're losing people. We pushed it back again. People are getting pissed. What can we do to bring people back? What can we do that will endear people again? Bring out Paul Rudd. Everybody loves Paul. They brought out the big gun. It was literally like when Batman said, "Bring out the big guns," and he brought out Lois Lane. They were like, "What's the one thing everybody loves? Paul Rudd. Bring out that clip."
See, the Ant-Man Wasp is starting to film too, right? Aren't they filming in May?
Yep. And you better believe, man, I'm already saving back for that costume, Richard. You can't tell me it's going to be the same suit as the last movie. You can't. It's going to be come on, man. It's
right.
Like any other superhero. You got to have the toy sales.
Well, it's set in the future too, so compared to where they were, so he's got to be more up to date.
So yeah.
And if they're going to go back into the quantum field or whatever,
Do you guys just put the word quantum before everything?
But
I still have a bet with myself, Richard, whether or not that name Quantum Mania will actually be the final.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
It might. At least
if it was any other movie, but Ant-Man's the comedy. Ant-Man's the one that doesn't take itself too seriously. I could see them,
Right. At least we got to know for sure about Black Widow. Looks like it will be July for Black Widow for sure. And I know it's going to be on Disney Plus too. They're talking about that because it's already on the app. If you look in the menu, it's already there. So it's going to happen, sooner than later. I just think they're just waited a little longer. Hopefully theaters will be, of course, a lot of theaters are having problems. I know Regals are having a lot of issues with their landlords and stuff like that. I've been reading a lot about that. And then even some of the AMCs they've lost. Some other people's picked up properties and stuff. So hopefully the theater owners can things going and people start going back. Most people's got their shots or will be getting their shots finished up. So a lot of people will have confidence go back out. Comic book cons are starting, so hopefully things will start trickling back to, what it is.
And the official announcement about Free Comic Book Day has been rescheduled for August. It is official. Was it the first weekend in August, Richard? Or
I think that's when it was. I don't.
But anyways, and a lot of people, especially like in our area, don't know that Free Comic Book Day isn't just a local or a statewide thing. It's not even anymore a national thing. It is a global thing. Rich,
August 14th. Oh, sorry.
So second week. We've got friends that live in Canada that attend Free Comic Book Days. I've seen photos and video clips from Australia. They have Free Comic Book Day. So, it's not just something that affects us locally. No, the official announcement was made that it will be August, like Richard said, 14th. So the only thing that breaks my heart about that, Richard, is, I'm going to go as Ant-Man. And at least in May, I had a 50-50 chance of it being cool or being hot.
No.
Dude, August, there's no ands, ifs, or buts about it, man. I'm going to sweat my little ant balls off. I'm going to have to get that ice pack out, man. But like you said, Richard, yeah, everything is starting to slowly pick back up again. The movie theaters are one of them, and all I know is
I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say, when Black Widow comes out, if my theater that I go to is open, I'm going to go see it at the theater.
Yeah, it looks like it. Free Comic Book Day. There's a couple. Check with all your stores just in case, because I noticed that some of them are having even Free Comic Book Day, like Pack Rat. They're having a Free Comic Book Day earlier. So.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah. So double check your stores. I know, like Laughing Ogre just had the Green Power Ranger show up for signing, and then Sam went blank. Flash Gordon Jones.
Sam Jones
is going to be at Comic Town coming up in May. So check your local stores. Because I know I really wanted to get down to see the Green Ranger, but like I said, I met him a couple different times before. He's a really nice guy and everything. But I think I talked about the new Power Rangers, right? I am loving the new Power Rangers. He was saying stuff that you've been watching. I don't know why I like these new Dino Rangers. It's just funny how they're shaking things up and everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's not taking itself serious. I think that's why I like it even more. I think the way they're writing it, they're not being like how some of the spin-offs were more trying to be serious, but they weren't serious.
Yeah.
This is trying to be serious. This is just fun Power Ranger.
Yeah.
So I digress, but check all your local comic book stores. A lot of things are happening. I know there's other conventions are popping up. Gem City is going to be July. There's going to be a virtual space in July. Then in November, there's going to be a space, and some of the other stuff is being virtual. So a lot of stuff's happening. Just keep eye, and hopefully we'll keep sharing it on Underground. At least on our Facebook page.
So, speaking of which, Richard, perfect time to wrap this up. Could you let everybody know that's listening and or watching where they can find all of our stuff at?
Yeah, the easiest way is go to undergroundvideonetwork.com. I was looking for the banner. Sorry. There's the banner. Undergroundvideonetwork.com. There you can find links to all our socials and stuff. And then if you follow us on like Facebook or Twitter, you can actually find quick links to like throwback or flashback episodes. For the last few weeks, I've been spotlighting some very cool episodes that we've done.
Yeah.
And this was during a time frame in, 2011, 2012, where we was actually putting little shows together with interviews and our own commentary just like this. So it was different back then. Got to thank them. And then on Mondays, check out our Facebook page. We actually have classic episodes because I'm breaking down. I've redoing the video archive a little bit. If I say classic, the first 60 say 61 to 65 episodes, which are the classics. And then there's the post classics. And then like when you joined the cast, there was like a period of that part, and then you and me took over. So that's been 10 years ago for that. So really dating ourselves.
No kidding.
And then there's all the other stuff that we covered, and all video is now basically on UVN Plus Video Archive, and just go to undergroundvideonetwork.com to find all that.
So, on behalf of myself, Michael Boroff, and my good friend Richard Catojohn, we'd like to take this chance to thank everybody for listening and or watching. We hope everyone's staying safe, staying healthy, doing what you can to get us all back into the comic book stores and conventions. And if you would kindly, Richard, press the button.